Everything is hunky-dory. That is f***ing slicker than shit. I am in love with that. Hey guys, it's Kyle from MAPerformance. Today we're gonna spice up the interior of our 2022 BRZ. So guys, the first thing that we're gonna talk about installing today is our AEM CD5 Digital Dash. This is a GPS and logging capable dash. It's a super slick, compact unit that AEM offers. This is a chassis mounted shifter, so it's super rigid, super stiff. It also has a built-in reverse lockout, which is a super nice feature. We've actually already installed one of these in our shop Evo 10. I've been in love with these shifters ever since I saw one hit the market. IRP, if you're watching me, help your boy out. Yeah, it's just a super great short throw shifter. I love the design of this. No need to buy a custom shift knob because you already have one of the best designs built right into it. So yeah, I'm super excited to put this in the car, and it should be a relatively easy install, so we'll get to it. All right, so obviously we're in the car. We're gonna spend pretty much all of our time in this video. So first step to taking your shifter off, take the shift knob off. Don't actually know if that's the first step, but that's what we're gonna do either way. You guys like this shift knob? You wanna purchase it? You thinking you're liking it? You'd like to see us sell it? This is our own patented design in-house. Yeah, let us know if you guys think this is cool. We'd love to sell it. So I've worked on Subarus a lot, and I know a thing or two about taking the interior apart, so we're just gonna start kind of removing stuff very gently.
What you got there?
This is a plastic pry tool. It's the only tool you should ever use in the interior of a car. And the other thing that's terrifying about working on interiors of cars is most of the time, to get things off, you have to feel like you're breaking it, but you have to know that you're not. There we go. Okay, that's a progress in the right direction. Hey, there we go. That was what we needed. That's the only thing holding this in. Now we need a screwdriver. The great thing about cup holders is you can use it to store things that you don't want to lose. Put those in over there. Oh, there we go. Boom. That wasn't so bad. Go ahead and set that up there. Now, at one time I remembered how you take this unit off.
Is it boot? Does it just slide straight up?
No. Yes. These are some chonkers. I'd like to take this little rubber piece off. I'd like to know. So at this point, I think I just need to take this whole mechanism off. So get a little snap ring plier action and get that Johnny out. All right, so don't do that. Can you find that piece that's shot outside? Ah! It's like I'm the bus driver from Fortnite. I'm trying to cheat here, and it's not exactly working. It's not working that well. So this being a chassis mount shifter, we're gonna have to remove the OEM method of stabilizing the shifter, which requires going under the car. I'm gonna unbolt some things, and we're gonna lower the transmission a little bit and probably drop the exhaust to get to some pins that are underneath here. Remember when I said this would be an easy install? I lied. I'll just take this whole thing off. All right, so now we should be able to pull that whole unit out. All right, so after many movie references and realizing things later, this OEM stabilizer is out, which means this is out too, which means we can get to our IRP chassis mounted shifter. Overall, this isn't so bad, but it's also not so great. So there's a little bit of assembly required pre-installation insertion into the automobile. Just for shipping constraints, there's just a little bit you have to do here. It's not a big deal, it's pretty easy. Just putting this boot on and bolting the whole shifter assembly to the plate, and then it just kind of drops in and then you reconnect it and then that's it. It's pretty easy. So we went ahead and replaced the OEM bolts with some ones we had in-house, just because if you can see, this is just a standard bolt. This is got this big shank on it, so that wasn't gonna work. I assume that it's been a while since I've taken apart a first-gen BRZ, and I don't exactly remember how it all looks, but I presume that you know, you'd reuse them. This is, I guess we didn't specify, this is for a Gen 1 BRZ. That's feeling like a heckin' install. Obviously the linkage isn't hooked up yet, but dude, that's just like factory. I mean, it's a little loosey-goosey. You can maybe swap this out for a really rad Crown Royal bag or something. So after messing around with some stuff for a while, we were actually able to get the linkage in. It's a tight fit, but it's in there and I can feel it shifting. It's going into all of the gears, which is good. So I'm gonna bolt this back up so that way the transmission doesn't move around at all, so we can get the real feel of how the shifter feels. And then we just have to adjust the reverse lockout and then we're good to go. So the idea here is that's reverse. And we want to make it so that to get to reverse, you need to, so I can't get into first. There's first. So now you can't get into reverse, right? You can only get into first gear. You pull this pin back, reverse. If you wanted to do like a 5th and 6th gear lockout, if you're drag racing, and you don't want to accidentally shift from 3rd to 5th, or you know, vice versa, you can run this one really far in, so the only way to get into 5th is to go like that and push the button in. But obviously in our case, we're not doing that, so now I'm going to tighten these mamma jammas up. I need to grab a razor blade and clean this up just a little bit. There's a little trimming that had to be done. All right, so now that everything is trimmed and everything's hunky-dory, we can start putting it all back together. Super fun part of this, the rewarding part, the part that you like. OEM boot even fits very nicely. Everything is hunky-dory. That is f***ing slicker and shit. I am in love with that. All right, trim ring.
Love me a good click.
So you might ask yourself, why are we installing this in the car when the car already has a digital dash from factory? So like we talked about, GPS and logging capable, so we're on the track. We can monitor all that data as far as track data, and then also data coming from the car. It's also fully programmable and customizable, so we can set this to do pretty much anything and everything that we'd ever want. Also, these are expandable with AEM's different CAN modules, so down the line, if we want to add more sensors to the car, You're able to do that with their different add-on modules. I personally have one of these in my own car. I've installed them in a couple other cars. I am in love. This is a great dash. First step of this is a prototype 3D printed mount. It's middle stage, you know, like this isn't the final version. Obviously there's still some roughness on here on the 3D print, but it's, you know, here to test fit and show you guys kind of the process of this. So yeah, this was designed off of the fascia, like we'll see it when we take it apart, but essentially the trim piece that the OEM cluster uses, this replaces, and then this dash is allowed to sit in front of it. The reason that we're having it sit in front of the OEM cluster, not removing the OEM cluster on installation if we want to go back to stock, and also there are, these cars use a CAN-based system to power the dash, and they tend to get a little upset when you unplug stuff like that. And obviously, the reason we're putting this in here is for the customizability and for the track related stuff. We're not looking to save a bunch of weight by removing the OEM dashboard and the OEM wiring at this time. So that's why we're leaving the factory one in there. Now we have kind of everything out of the way. What I'm going to do is unravel this mess of wires. So, like we said, these are expandable, contrastable, and overall all the way customizable. So this is our CAN 2 network. This is for any non-AEM net devices. Now we're going to feed these wires through. These wires are going to stay in the back, kind of tucked away semi-neatly. Obviously this isn't our finished bezel, so we're just kind of taking you guys along for the ride of testing this, installing it, showing you how it works. There. So obviously I have a lot of extra wire that I need to pull through. So now it's just a matter of tucking everything. Our first issue has arisen because of me. Now we have to be kind of careful with this piece as it's only a prototype. So obviously now the dash is in place. Honestly, it looks great, like where it is. The CD5 is a perfect fit in this position. This little guy here that is connected to our gray CAN 2 network is a OBD2 to CAN adapter for these AEM CD series dashes. What this allows us to do is plug it in to the OBD2 port. In the software itself, you can query the ECU and that will pull all of the data stream. All right, so we got that plugged in. We're gonna do the automotive install equivalent of a nip and tuck and get this situated in here. Tyler, could you go ahead and just key the car on? Just hit the button. Hit
One time?
Yep. Does this thing just turn on?
No.
Oh, monkey. All right, click the thing again.
Oh boy.
What?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you had to click it twice. Yeah.
Yep, it's on now.
All right, so Tyler's reading off things you guys can't hear because I'm upside down and you know what's funny? This is so funny. This is actually comical. This is almost as if I planned this. So obviously we weren't able to use my little hole that I made. Camera, or Tyler, you want to pass me the camera so I don't have to move? If you guys look.
Might be a little dark.
Oh no, you can see it. No, you can see it. You can see the check engine light indicator through the through the hole.
The very thing those people are trying to block.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna grab the laptop and from here we'll just throw a really basic screen on it, and I actually don't even hate this is like the default one. Obviously nothing's assigned to it, so it doesn't know. But I'll just put engine RPM, speed, and whatever else comes up. So now we are in the AEM Dash Design screen. There's obviously a bunch of pre-made setups that AEM provides you with, and you can kind of scroll through these and decide, you know, I like this one, I like this one. Also, like, you can make your own. This is, I don't know if you can see that really good on the camera. This is mine for my personal car. Mimics like kind of like an S2000 Dash. I think I'm gonna do the red one. So we'll use the red one. I don't know if we'll use all these other screens, but we'll for sure use the red one. So this is where you'll hit Scan Vehicle OBD, and then it'll see your logger or your display. Hit Scan. Don't worry about the update. Erase the logs. And then it'll tell you to unplug the USB cable, and then you will watch here, and it will search for the ECU. And then we have all of these data stream monitors to assign different things to. So there's all the ones that you would expect: throttle position, air fuel ratio, engine load. And then what we are able to do is go into our screen here, and we'll go, so this is a attack pickup. We'll go set this. The one thing that gets tricky, this might actually already be set up. Sometimes it will auto-fill. So once you've designed your dash, you're happy with the layout and everything, you'll just go up here and hit upload. And then once you hit upload, it'll ask you to save, and we'll save this as map BRZ. Look at it go, there it is. So I'm gonna cycle it really quick to see, make sure everything worked right. I'm gonna turn it back on. All right, I'm gonna try something. Everybody watch your ears. I took the exhaust off the car to do the shifter, and I haven't put it back on yet, but I wanna see if the RPM is working. So we're gonna try this quick. So it works. Everything works as it should. As you can see, our dash matches our screen. There's a ton of more stuff that I'll end up doing, and probably in the next video, we'll go over kind of the updates that we've done and show you the final product with the dash. If you guys want to leave some feedback of what you'd want to see as far as displays go, like I said, this is fully customizable, so you can make anything that you want, and it can work as long as you're really good with Photoshop. I'm mediocre at Photoshop. If you guys want to see something, if you have something in mind of like a cool display, let us know, and we'll try and make it happen. And in the next video, we'll show that off. But for the most part, like I said, there's some little nuances with the fit up with our adapter, but all that stuff will get better as time goes on. This is kind of a test piece to kind of showcase the product and show you how it works. Like I said, we were spicing up the interior a little bit, so we wanted to bring you guys along. If you guys like this kind of content, a little bit more technical, a little bit more explanation of what's going on, how all this stuff works, and how you can do it to your own car, let us know in the comments. We love making videos like this. If you guys like seeing the BRZ build, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Until then, that's all. Peace.